Hello again, folks. How are you doing? It is still February the 13th, 2024, the day before Valentine's Day. Um, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning now. This is going to be my second short video, relatively short video, talking about a subject, still talking about Gaza and what's happening in Gaza. But today we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. They ran 3 different propaganda ads. 4 actually. The 3, I see the 3. There's one with fucking Michael Rappaport. There's one with football players, and there's one with missing fucking the fathers of the football player ones, and then there's missing seats, empty seats, and the 130 hostages. Those 3, and then the 4th one was the blue square one, where you basically stand with Israel for no matter what Israel does. A lot of propaganda was taking place during the Super Bowl, not just the bullshit with Travis Kelce and the Swifties and the fucking black national anthem. What the fuck was that? It's a great song. I have no problem with it being sung at the football games and before the Super Bowl. But we are one nation. We are one fucking people. We got a black national anthem. We got a white national. They had Reba McEntire and a black woman sing. I forget her name. I'm sorry, but sing the black national anthem. And Reba McEntire, a white country, sing the white national anthem. Who the fuck? Talking about unity, they are clearly trying to fucking divide us by any means necessary. And here they are dividing us. They try to divide us by sexual orientation, by fucking male versus female, and of course, by race. It's so fucking blatantly goddamn, it's race baiting. They were just clearly race baiting. Okay. So, listen. All the fucking black people who love this country, just like white people, just like Chinese people, just like brown people, just like all the people who love this fucking country have one fucking national anthem and say, okay, no, this is your national anthem now. You don't like this this is your national anthem. What the fuck is that? Tell that to the people who died, African Americans, Japanese, Chinese, South Koreans, Germans. Tell that to all these fucking people who signed up, who went to fucking war, who were drafted, who went to fucking war, who never came back. What fucking national anthem they listened to. It's insulting. It's supposed to be insulting. But I'm not mad at African Americans for having a different national anthem. I'm pissed off at these motherfuckers doing this to us. As well as you should be as well. It doesn't matter what fucking color you are. But we had a bunch of Israeli propaganda too. Israeli propaganda is called Hasbara. In Israel, Hasbara means propaganda. But outside of Israel, they describe it as explaining. Because, of course, everybody outside of Israel is stupid. So they're just explaining to us, like you would a child or an idiot. That's what Hasbara means. And that, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, are what those 4 goddamn public service announcement commercials were for. Meantime, while they were doing that, they killed 100 in Rafah. They were bombing refugees in Rafah. Important to note, CNN won't tell you this, but important to note, people were told to leave northern fucking Gaza by the Israelis to go south to places like Rafah, where they would be safe. Now, they're bombing them. They're bombing refugee camps. They're bombing schools. They killed over 100 people, many of them children. The majority of them women and children, and the vast, vast majority civilians. That happened literally while they were screeching, in some cases, their fucking propaganda about stand with glorious Israel. This is from I-24 News. I want you to remember the video that I did talking about the 40 beheaded babies. And the I-24 News reporter person thing, the woman walking around, while all the IDF soldiers were standing around pretending to be just so upset and sad, holding each other and just standing around. It was all staged. They were staging it. By deception thou shalt make war. That's the fucking motto of the Mossad. And so I-24 staged this shit where they said there were 40 beheaded babies in this fucking kibbutz. Didn't exist, didn't happen, no babies in the oven, never fucking happened, no mass rapes, never fucking happened, all lies. I-24 did that. And here's I-24's impression of a Michael Rappaport fucking public service announcement in support of a Zionist app they want to put on your fucking phone. Michael Rappaport, by the way, hates anybody who doesn't stand for glorious Israel. He hates people who say, stop bombing children. That's Michael fucking Rappaport. That's his shtick, is to be that angry fucking New Yorker always saying fuck and always yelling in your face. He got punched recently. Someone threw a fucking snowball or some shit. He's like, oh, why'd you do that? He's a fucking pussy. He ain't a real goddamn New Yorker. He's got a silver spoon stuck up his ass, and he's a fucking pussy. And I'd say it to his fucking face. Piece of shit. I lived in Manhattan for 7 years. I know what real New Yorkers are. They would fuck him up. Sorry. I don't mean this to, but I digress. He's also the same guy, by the way. All of you folks who think now that he's jumped ship and now that he's on the Trump train, I want you to remember something. Because a lot of you, like me, saw something really wrong with this whole fucking COVID-19 vaccine mandate bullshit. And the lockdowns and the mask mandates and people being forced to take these fucking jabs. We're on the same page with all that, even though I'm on the fucking radical left. I didn't vote for fucking Biden. I didn't vote for fucking Obama. Don't put me on that fucking train. Michael Rappaport hates your guts because he said so many times. He thought back then and still does. And as soon as the next one comes along, he's going to be saying the same shit. That if you don't get your fucking vaccine, if you don't shut up and get your vaccine, you should be left to die outside the fucking ER and not allowed in because fuck you. Get your vaccine. That's Michael Rappaport. Okay? So now that he's jumping on the Trump train, and a lot of you guys out there want to support Israel, I just want you to know who you're fucking supporting. Now he's doing a fucking public service announcement in support of Israel while Israel is literally bombing fucking children. He's doing a public service announcement to push a Zionist AIPAC run, AIPAC backed app to put on your fucking phone so that when they have an agenda, they can just mass send it and you'll pick it up and go, oh, I got to tell my representative or my senator to do this because AIPAC tells me to, or because Hasbara tells me to, or because Israeli intelligence tells me to. He is literally telling you to put a megaphone app on your fucking phone. And if you don't know what megaphone means, look it the fuck up. That's something they've been doing for quite some time. That's where if you know who Michael Rivera is from What Really Happened, he coined the phrase megaphonies a long time ago. Look it the fuck up. This is what he's promoting with these lies. Saying that, oh my God, all the fucking hostages are being tortured and raped to death, and oh my God. They just supposedly got 2 in a raid. Don't know if it's true or not, but supposedly they got 2 in a raid from a family in Rafah during this assault where they killed over 100 fucking people, the vast majority of them civilians, many of them children. The worst they could say was they looked skinny, thin, they'd lost some weight. Let's have a listen to Michael Rappaport. Let's have a listen to these fucking morons and liars at I-24 News, shall we?
To raise awareness for the plight of those 136 innocents still held by the Hamas terrorists. A Super Bowl-themed series of ads attempts to ride the attention of America's biggest sports event tonight. In the lead-up to the main event, viewers will see these images across.
While this is happening, they are showing you a father holding his fucking toddler child. Israel is bombing fathers and their toddler children. This is, I'm not making that up. It happened fucking simultaneously. Civilians, refugees who have been told to go there because it would be safe by Israel.
Billboards all weekend, and it's going to culminate in a campaign by the Hostages and Missing Families Forum, along with actor Michael Rappaport, calling on Americans to lobby in support for releasing the 136 hostages still held.
This guy makes my
Gaza.
skin crawl, so I watch as much of it as I possibly can. He is fucking stupid, and he is disgusting.
My fellow shifters, this is the new Michael Rappaport. LifeShifter.com really is life-changing. Has it changed my life? No. But you know whose life it can change? The 136 hostages who are still being raped and tortured in Gaza by Hamas terrorist scumbags right now. LifeShifter.com lets you automatically contact your local reps and demand the release of all the hostages now. It's a fucking app. Not only will it change lives, it will save life. So use the app. Don't use the app. I don't give a fuck, but call your reps. Do it now. Do it during a touchdown. Do it during halftime, during a tree pose, an armadillo pose. I don't give a fuck. Let's bring them home now. LifeShifter.com. It's a real fucking app.
It's a real fucking app. Put LifeShifter. Put the Megaphone app on your fucking phone, so you can be a puppet, a tool. He's so concerned about the hostages. It came out from the IDF and 4 anonymous sources. The stories out there now are 32, and then it was changed to 31. Hostages have died while in custody. Of the, they thought it was 160, now it's 132 or something. And they believe it's possible there's another 20 who have died while in custody. This is from all these different fucking outlets. You can pull them up all day long and find all these articles all day long. Why do they say died? Why don't they say they were murdered and raped to death and tortured to death by evil sicko terrorists fucking Hamas, like that jackass just did? Why don't they say that? Because in the IDF report, as voiced by the 4 anonymous people from inside the IDF, they weren't killed by Hamas. They were killed by Israeli bombs, targeting places that they figured Hamas was. Well, I guess they got a couple of them right, because they killed some Hamas members who were holding them, and they killed their own fucking hostages. This is not the first time since October 7th that the IDF killed their own hostages. What he should be saying is this: let's get them fucking home. Let's bring them home before the fucking IDF kills all the rest of our goddamn hostages. That's what he should be saying. That's more accurate. I told you a long time ago that one of the problems, I got the right logo up, by the way. One of the big problems for Netanyahu and the head of the IDF and the head of the fucking Mossad and all these guys and the Zionists and Jewish Power Party and Ben Giver and all these fucks, these rabid Zionist fucks, is not only are they going to lose their one best chance at stealing all that fucking land they covet in Gaza, but when this thing ends, there's going to be investigations. And it's going to come to find out a lot of those those civilians who were killed on October the 7th weren't killed by Palestinians. They were killed by Israelis. Like the 31 hostages that the IDF anonymous sources came out and talked about and said were killed by Israeli fucking bombings. I said that was going to happen when this was over. Turns out I was wrong. It's already happening. God, this guy makes me sick. I don't even like having him on my fucking thing. Back in the day, when folks like us talked about the fact that the IDF was killed the majority of the fucking civilians on October the 7th, we were told to sit down and shut up, and it was a conspiracy theory and a lie, and it was anti-Semitic. IDF officer recounts ordering tank fire on Berry home during hostage standoff on October the 7th. That was dated December 23rd, 2023, and that came from the Times of Israel. This is the same fucking officer, by the way, General Barak Hiram. Brigadier General Barak Hiram. He told the New York Times that they had to fire 2 rounds into this fucking kibbutz, this house, private residence in a kibbutz where there were 14 hostages being held. He admitted that they did that. He admitted that they killed at least one. Fire that killed at least one. That was December 23rd, 2023. January 13th, 2024. Friendly fire may have killed their relatives on October 7th. These Israeli families want to know. Do you see that house? There was recently a politician, and I tried to find who it was, and I can't find the fucking images, and I can't find the video, who went there to Israel to be shown what the evils of fucking Hamas, the terrorist Hamas, did. They walked the politician through that because it was so dramatic looking. That is her home. That is the one that was destroyed by Israeli tank fire. They're like, oh my God, they lobbed grenades. I said before in videos, looking at these images and the images of the melted fucking cars that were shredded and then buried in Israeli cemeteries so that no one could ever dig them up and check the explosive residue and realize that explosive residue doesn't come from a bottle rocket or a grenade. It comes from a Hellfire rocket fired by a drone, which, by the way, Hamas doesn't own, but the IDF does, which is why it was buried in a fucking cemetery. And it's illegal to dig up anything buried in an Israeli cemetery. Here's some more. Fresh testimony, December the 10th. Here's a story from December the 12th. The Israeli military says hostages waved a white flag before being killed by soldiers. 3. The third hostage later died of his wounds. Shirtless, being released, walking out of fucking a captive area where they were held captive, waving white flags. IDF soldiers shot them and killed all 3. But here's what I wanted to show you. This is from Haaretz from February 7th, 2024. Israeli army is probing the death of 12 hostages in kibbutz Be'eri house shelled on orders of senior officer. Who was the senior officer? Brigadier General Barak Karam. He didn't kill one fucking Israeli hostage. He killed 12. Actually 13, because the little child of the 14 that were there, one survived, and she was the one who gave the fucking testimony back in December of what happened. The 13th was a little child who was taken to a hospital and later died. That's the home of Pessi Cohen in the kibbutz Be'eri. General Staff team to ask Brigadier General Barak Karam, the commander who gave the order to fire, for his version of events on October the 7th. The IDF had originally planned to wait until the end of the war before investigating the incident, which is exactly what I said. An Israeli Defense Forces General Staff team has begun investigating an incident in which 12 hostages held by Hamas, were killed in the home of Pessi Cohen in kibbutz Be'eri. They were killed by the IDF. Killed by the IDF. No matter how many times fucking Michael Rappaport hops up and down and does his angry, in-your-face New Yorker act, which is an act. It's just an act. He's a phony. He was doing that shit. Somebody hit him in the face with a snowball or some shit, and he practically cried, "You knocked my head off." He literally did that. That's not a New Yorker. A New Yorker doesn't say a goddamn thing. You hit him in the face with a fucking snowball, you two on the ground fighting. Not this pussy. He is a pussy. Michael Rappaport is a pussy. A while ago, I talked about Michael Rappaport putting out the fucking warning to Americans, saying, he literally said, Jews are keeping lists of people who are on their side and people like myself who stand with Palestine, stand with ceasefire, stand with two states living in harmony. See my previous video. He says, Jews in America are keeping lists. And in the future, if you want a job, if you want a fucking loan to buy a house, you can forget all about that because we're going to remember you. Now, I don't think that Jewish bankers appreciated him saying something like that. He's saying the quiet part out loud. But what I did was this. I figured if he thinks or knows that they're keeping lists of people who are on the other side, then that means they're keeping lists of people who are on their side, and they will reward them. And as a reward, guess what Michael Rappaport got? A 30-second fucking spot in front of the biggest fucking audience in the world on television during the Super Bowl, where he could show his fucking skills as a comedian / fucking actor, pushing a megaphone app for your cell phone. So why exactly does Michael Rappaport support Israel? Is it because he loves Israel so much? Or because he expects something in return? I don't know. You can answer that one for yourselves. Again, talking to Aunt Bibi. I say that almost every video now because the only person I talk to in the world is Aunt Bibi, I guess. But talking to Aunt Bibi about this. I lost my train of thought. Listen, this is my opinion. My opinion is that she reminded me of the character from Dr. Evil from the fucking Austin Powers videos. You know, the guy, this guy, yeah, Dr. Evil. What Israel is doing, them running fucking ads during the Super Bowl while a good percentage of the American population is distracted, running ads showing, you know, a father loving his little toddler while they're literally bombing fathers and toddlers in fucking Gaza. While they're literally bombing fathers and toddlers in Gaza. You can't put that in a film unless it's Dr. Evil, unless it's Austin Powers, because it's just fucking, it's just vile. It's just vileness that's so over the top that if you tried to put that in a serious fucking movie, in one of these IMF fucking Tom Cruise Mission Impossible things, people would say, stop it. Even a Bond villain. You couldn't even make a Bond villain do that shit. And yet this is what Israel did in real fucking time. They showed images of a father loving his fucking toddler and saying, oh my God, what about the fucking 136? While they fucking killed toddlers and fathers in fucking Gaza. It's beyond evil. It's beyond evil. You would have to be a special kind of stupid to go to whatever fucking Michael Rappaport tells you to go to and put whatever Michael Rappaport tells you to put on your phone for you to do that. You would need to be a special kind of stupid. You would deserve what you get. You would deserve what you get. And one thing, I'll finish with this, and I was thinking about this, and it bothers the shit out of me. You know, I have been called alt-right so many times because of my stances on certain things, and they line up with some people, certain people on the alt-right. And that has never bothered me. Never once fucking bothered me. Never once. I don't care. I don't see myself aligned with the fucking New Dems and the Democratic Party and the fake fucking left. And I call them the fake fucking left all the goddamn time. So I don't care. It doesn't bother me. In some ways, I kind of take pride in it. Because I'm still on the left and being accused of being alt-right by people on the fake fucking left. I take pride in that. But there's one thing that I can't fucking abide, and I won't abide. And that is the same people who were on the alt-right, who for years, decades, have called out the fucking Zionist agenda in this country. Now, when Zionists are trying to steal a nation out from under people, out from under fathers and their fucking toddlers, by blowing them the fuck up, now all of a sudden, so many people on the alt-right are standing with glorious fucking Zionists. The same fucking Zionists they called out for trying to steal and influence and fucking desecrate our fucking government here through AIPAC and through their fucking influence. The same people. I certainly hope that changes. I do. I know Sheldon Adelson, a big-time Zionist, gave fucking Donald Trump $100 fucking million to help him get elected at one point in time. I know Donald Trump is a massive fucking Zionist. I understand that. But let's not normalize this shit. Let's not normalize this. I told you in the previous video, there is a path to security and happiness for fucking Israelis. And the only path is two-state solution. They can live in harmony beside fucking Palestine, just like they live in harmony beside Lebanon and Jordan and Egypt. After what they did to fucking Egypt. After what they did in 2006 to Lebanon. They can. And eventually they will. It is breathtaking. It is breathtaking, the audacity of these and the desperation of these Zionists to put together 4 goddamn commercials, 4 public service announcements, 4 propaganda campaigns to run during the Super Bowl while they knew the Americans were being distracted so they could bomb children. It is reprehensible. It is vile. And we should all call them out for it. And for God's sake, if you saw that commercial and you said, oh wow, because you were drunk and you put it on your fucking phone, get it the fuck off your phone. And if you have to fucking break your phone and get a new one to do it, do what it takes.